This is a topic I've wanted to voice my opinion on for quite some time. Over the past 5 years, Rare have crafted one of the best open sandbox games I've ever played, built primarily on the interactions we have with other players we meet. For the most part, these interactions are amazing, but there seems to be an ever-growing presence of less than friendly people that I meet while I'm playing. It's rare nowadays for me to be able to go a week or two without having a slur thrown my way by another player mad at me for sinking them. I wish this wasn't true. Sea of Thieves has always been an escape from reality, where I can be who I want. But when people hear my voice alongside my pirate, or see my profile picture on Xbox, reality quickly creeps back in. Now, I've always possibly been too open with who I am. I never want to shy away from it, and that's my choice. But that shouldn't mean that I, or anyone else, should have to deal with this on a constant basis. One of the biggest examples I can think of to show how bad this problem has gotten is the rainbow flag. How often do you see a ship sailing with the flag and think, oh, they're flying that for pride? Usually the thought that comes to mind is more, oh, this is a troll and I'm about to get slurs yelled at me. This coming from someone who used to sail with the flag a lot before I learned what people actually think of you. Most active players I spoke to about this agree that they never see it as a positive thing. And to me, that's a sign that something needs to be done. However, I don't just want to dogpile on Rare. After all, we can't ignore what they have done in support of LGBTQ. Things like the new profile and banner on their Twitter, which, like most companies, didn't vanish immediately after Pride Month. The celebrations they held within their company during Pride Month, and the action that we see them take against this hate in the game. Hell, even just the fact that we have a pride flag in the game to begin with. These are just a couple of examples of what Rare has in place to keep this amazing game a safe place for everyone to enjoy together. Now, as much as I think Rare is doing an amazing job at handling this problem, I'd still like to offer some small suggestions to help potentially improve this issue. Firstly, I'd love to see different pride flags added. This might seem silly, and honestly it probably is, but personally I'd love to see a few more in the game. Just implement a few of the more widely recognized flags to begin with, and then later on expand into the lesser known ones. I don't want to go any further than flags. While people have suggested sails or other cosmetics, I think ship's flag is a perfectly fine place for this to stay. Secondly, and this is probably the biggest one, is the in-game reporting system. This little thing is tucked away, hidden from view in the settings menu, and even if you do find it, there isn't an option to report what another player is saying, which, at least in my experience, is the biggest issue by far. It's such an amazing feature, considering the alternative of going through the website is just too tedious for most players, so they don't bother. I think it could do with two small changes. Firstly, just move to the front of the menu so people can both find it easier as well as be aware it exists, or put in other crews, where honestly it makes more sense for it to be. Second, and much more obviously, is to implement a reporting option for hate speech. I'm obviously unaware of how this system works behind the scenes, but this needs to be an option in game. I don't know many people who are willing to go through the sub website to report people, meaning a large quantity of what's said in game chat just goes through without repercussion. If the option was available in game, that would make it infinitely easier, and encourage people to report this type of harassment all the time. My last point isn't something I want Rare to implement, but something for us as the community to do. I hate what the pride flag has become in sub, with this whole stigma of little kids just screaming slurs down the mic. So if you want to, next time you're out sailing, just fly the rainbow flag. I know after making this video, I will be going back to flying it every time I set sail. It's a small thing that obviously I don't want to force on anybody, and it might not directly fix the toxicity problem, but for those of you like me who hate the stigma that's formed around it, let's take it back and return it to a much more positive symbol for people to show who they are. This was a much more personal video than what I'm used to making. It's a topic that's far closer to home for me and many others. I want to thank Rare for everything they are doing right now to allow everyone to be who they are in the game. And hopefully together, we can overcome the vocal minority trying to ruin this. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all out on the sea.